Well, kind of.
Another stream, and this one was actually requested by one of my fans. So I'm gonna be viewing over every single plant I have, and zombie. Every character I have. So first we're gonna start off with the citrons. So everyone has the citron. Frozen citron. All the other attacks are the same except his primary. He's an ice type character who will freeze with his frosty beam.
Eat.
And I have Electro Citron, who I got today actually. He's an electric type character, and if you hold the trigger that fires, you'll get a supercharge if you hold it long enough. Ah, crap, I forgot to do an intro. Nah, that is the worst ever, and that is the worst ever stream. So, okay. Oh, did I, well.
Are people watching this now? Yes, of course they are.
Not right now.
Yes,
I have no one watching right now.
Okay, that's good. That's good because Lucas.
Okay, so today I actually have someone who's never been on stream with me before. I have Amber. Amber, say hi.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm a meme official.
And we have Pizza.
Shush,
okay.
Luke.
Well, now
I'm gonna seal your mouth with Flex Seal.
Iron Citron. Oh, someone's watching. Someone's watching. Okay.
Darth. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so stupid.
Iron Citron is actually a very different type of character. This character has a lot more to explain to it. So when you first have it and when it's not in its iron mode, we'll have one shot every round.
Stop, Luke.
But it does have a chance of doing 60 damage or 50 damage. That's the max it can do.
Hold on, Luke.
And that's the Iron Citron, but you have to get enough kills to do 5 strikes in one. And it's guaranteed 60 damage every shot. But if it's like area damage and doesn't directly hit them, well, it's not gonna do full damage. It will do 25. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, and my last one would be a Toxic Citron. This one doesn't have a beam, and this one will fire one at a time shots, but rapidly fires with toxic shots. Slimer is what it's called. And now we have the Rose. First up, I have the Druid Rose. Once again, everything's the same except her primary attack.
Yeet.
And she doesn't have a toxic radiation like the toxic. I don't know what
this is all about. I don't have all the characters.
You have to fire at them to give them the toxic effect. And everything else is the same, just normal Rose, just Druid version. And now we have the Fire Rose, which can actually charge up a really good attack that does 50 damage if you do it to max. And this Rose,
Luke,
you can do a regular attack, which will do 25. She will have a fire effect and will do damage over time. Next up, we have the Frost Rose. Frost Rose is a ice type. So the Frost Rose can also charge up attacks. I don't remember how much damage she does if she charges up to max, but she will do some good damage. Well, she can freeze enemies, just like the Frost Citron can. and slow them down before they're frozen. Next up, we have the final rose that I have, which is neck rose, which is a really, really good rose. Well, neck rose is when you charge up her attack, she will do a 25 damage and she will jinx the enemy with her staff of jinxing. And it will make them weaker and smaller.
Shoot.
It even works for bosses too. And she can have a regular an attack where you don't have to.
Yeah, boy's dead. My mushroom. It's dead. It's dead.
You can, if you don't charge it up all the way and you do it halfway, you'll get a regular attack which does 25 damage.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
And that's the rose. Next up, we have Kernel Corn. So first up, we have BBQ Corn. Also ignore any hold on, let me take off, actually, you get what he look like. Just take off, like, all the sunglasses that he has and the hat. So, BBQ Corn is a fire type kernel. All the, attacks are the same except the primary, once again. That will change once we get to Chomper, but that's later on. So, yeah. What, pizza? What? Okay, so this character will do fire damage over time if you shoot someone. Next up, we have Mob Cob. This one has some heavy shots which do more. It's basically an upgraded version of the original Kernel Corn. Okay. So Mob Cob is actually a pretty good one. I really like Mob Cob. Just picture this character without the hat.
Okay.
And the final Kernel Corn I have is Pox Corn. This Kernel Corn, this one is a semi-automatic. It will shoot about like 5 shots every attack, and it has
stay there with her.
Corn Cracker.
Lucas, just do it.
Corn Cracker does a pretty good. He's a decent Kernel Corn, but not as good as the original.
I wish you could concern stuff in live streams.
Okay, next we have the pea shooter. First up, we have the fire pea. Fire pea is a fire type, as you can see, and he will do fire damage over time.
For nothing.
So, yeah, that's the fire pea, and it's really all the special attacks are the same as the regular pea shooter. And next up, we have the ice pea. And this character is an ice type, and will freeze its enemies, and it is a really good pea shooter.
Darth.
Yeah, Mimic.
Ugh. Darth.
Yeah. Hello?
When are we gonna go in a match?
Probably when the stream's over. So next up we have ice.
What?
Oh wait, I'm already on ice.
So confused.
Just wait till the stream's over. So ice pea will freeze enemies and will slow them down when you shoot at them. Next up we have the toxic pea. And toxic pea is a character who will do toxic damage over time, and that's really it. Toxic type too. Agent P, literally an upgraded version of Law P, and it has its P silencer, which have 12 shots and if you know how to use them right, pretty good character. And we have Law P next up, which is literally the same thing as Agent P, just 6 bullets. Then we have the Rock P. I forgot I put that on him. So Rock P is not really that good. It has less shots and does the same exact damage as the regular P shooter. So yeah, he sucks. The final one, the Electro P, which does 36 damage instead of your 25 damage. It is a really good P shooter. Its attacks will jump from enemy to enemy just like all the other electric characters. And that's really it. That's all about him. And then next we have Chomper. First we have the Fire Chomper. It has a fire spray and will do fire damage over time. Next we have Hot Rod Chomper. Every time Hot Rod Chomper eats a character, it will go super fast and can eat characters even faster because it will be going faster. Next we have Toxic Chomper, a toxic character which has toxic spray, and it will do toxic damage over time, and it does have a radiation of toxic radiation. And next we have Chomp Thing. I really don't know what this thing even does. It regenerates its HP faster and is slightly faster, but it has like weird breath of some sort. I have no clue. Next we have Yeti Chomper, which has its Arctic Belch. It will shoot ice balls at its opponent and will slow them down, and then will soon freeze them, and then you can get up right to them and then chomp them. Well, eat them or chomp them to death. And the final one, Twilight Chomper. Twilight Chomper has a warp for its ability and has super sticky goop, which will completely freeze the enemy, so you can warp right up to them and then swallow them whole. It does not have a burrow. It does not have its original goop. It has upgraded goop. It won't do as much damage. It still has its original spike speed, and everything else is the same. The primary is the same. And then now the Sunflower. First up, we got Power Flower. Power Flower is an electric type, and its damage will jump between enemy to enemy to enemy. I think it does the same amount, same amount of damage as the original Sunflower. And now we have the Shadow Flower. It goes faster and does 1 more damage than the original does. And can fire faster than other sunflowers. Next up we have the Mystic Flower. This one can charge up attacks from half to full. When you get to the max, she will do a 50 damage. When you go halfway, you'll get a 25. And you have to spam your finger on the trigger to fire her. And next up, we have Metal Pedal, which is slightly slower, but has more HP and does some more damage. And that's really it. Okay. Next we have Alien Flower. Alien Flower, okay, you have to spam your finger to fire it. But it does area damage. Has a lot of area damage actually. Pretty big radius. It does 4 damage with every hit. Next we have Vampire Flower. Vampire Flower has 75 HP, but with every hit, she gets more HP every time. Oh, so, I just read, I'm actually streaming the stream you wanted me to do. So, this one actually will, when a zombie attacks you, you will conflict some damage back at the other enemy. And the final one is Stuffy Flower.
I don't know, Luke.
That I have. Stuffy Flower,
This sucks when you don't have any friends.
The only thing about her is that she...
I'm gonna die.
When you kill an enemy with it, they just drop HP, and that's it about Stuffy Flower. And now we have the cactus.
It's a
fire cactus. It's literally just a fire type, and will do fire damage over time. Ice cactus will freeze its enemies over time when shooting. Power cactus will do electric damage and will do damage jumping across zombie from zombie.
Man.
Camo cactus, a sniping type, meant to camo in with the other, and can do some really good damage. And when you get a headshot, I think it's 30 damage for a headshot. This character can scope in really well and can do some massive damage if you know how to use this one right. Bandit cactus. Bandit cactus will rapidly fire over and over, and it's actually really good. It does the same amount of damage as the regular cactus, except that it rapidly fires.
Go get it for me, please.
And yeah, my final cacti, Zen cactus, has 5 shots but does some serious damage. Not really meant for sniping. It's more like an attack that goes in and fights everything. And that's it about Zen cactus. And now this is the last plant. We have Torchwood. Torchwood will fire its wood chipper at enemies and can do some severe damage. 7 damage every shot. Has infinite ammo, but will have to cool down after it heats up. And it has its flame breath. Will flame breath onto all the enemies around it in range, and will do 15 damage every millisecond. It's just OP. That move is OP for the Torchwood. Next up, we have the Leaf Shield. Will do much less damage to the Torchwood when this Leaf Shield is put up. Sometimes won't even do any damage if you shoot the shield only. The shield does not run out until there's a certain time limit. It cannot be destroyed. There's only time limit to destroy.
I'm sorry, man.
Then the final attack for him, Smoldering Madness. Smoldering Madness will make blue flames come out of Torchwood, and it will have some massive attack, and will do fire damage. The enemy takes more fire damage than the usual. And if you surprisingly survive the fire breath,
excuse me.
You'll still take fire damage. Now we have the imps. First up for the imps, we have Shrimp Imp.
Amiha, Lucas, what are you doing to her?
Shrimp? Oh my god, I get it now.
Lucas, don't do that to her.
Shrimp. And now we have Party Imp. This one's a legendary. Oh wait, I forgot to say that about Iron Citron. Legendary. And I forgot to say that Twilight Chomper was a special. Okay, why did I not do that? And if you get enough kills, Party Imp will go into Party Time. Party Time will allow the Party Imp to go so much faster than the regular speed. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the mech on the Party Imp will do more damage on its primary attacks.
You're weird, Luke.
And it will play music for both Party Time and the mech.
The food that she made, Luke.
Next up, we have Super Brains. First up, we got Electro Brains.
But
Electro Brains is electric character, and every time it hits something, it will do.
Okay.
It will do.
I need to finish this because I'm gonna die.
From enemy to enemy.
Shush, Luke. Stop being unsupportive.
And Electro Brains will not do electric damage with its beam. It will only just do regular damage. Next up, we got Party Brains, which is a legendary.
Okay, I'll eat
will do more and more damage every hit. So first hit does 15.
Okay, I'll leave.
Second hit does the don't leave, Jay. Don't leave.
No. I said I was leaving my ops on.
So,
but I have to leave to eat. Hold on.
So
I'm gonna eat.
Okay. Well, the second hit will do the original. Okay. Well, it will do the original damage of the regular. The second hit, it will do the original 35, and then the final hit will do 45. When you have Party Time, it does massive damage, and its super beam will do so much damage. It will do 300 damage. The kick is also upgraded. Everything is upgraded. And he will move faster too. And also, next up, we have Breakfast Brains. Oh, that says Breakfast Brains. Breakfast Brains. And this one is, its primary attack is so different. It will do so much damage. It will do 10 and 11 and 12 and 13 damage. And it will just punch like crazy until it overheats. But the overheating time takes forever until it overheats. And its beam will shoot waffles instead of a beam. I think that's funny. That's just a cool little feature. It does 1 damage for every waffle. And that's it for the Super Brains. Next up, we have Captain Deadbeard. First up, we have Captain Cannon. Captain Cannon will shoot cannons if you scope in. And has a scatter cannon and will do some pretty good damage. Captain Cannon... okay, so Captain Cannon will do 60 damage or 50 damage with the cannon when you scope in. Next up, we have Captain Flameface. Captain Flameface is literally the same thing as Captain Deadbeard, except that it's fire and will do fire damage over time. Next up, we have Captain Partyman, a legendary party character, which is basically the same thing, just with party mode, and that's really it. Next up, we have Captain Squawk, a toxic character. Anything gets near it, it will get radiated. And it's Seagull Gull shot when he scopes in. It will do 50 damage. And has this toxic spray, which will, when you're close up, you can just spray them with toxic spray. And that's it for the Deadbeard. Next up, we have the Foot Soldier. First up, we have Super Commando, which will have 3 shots every round, reloads fast, and does 20 damage every hit for a headshot. If they get low enough, it will do 18 damage. And for regular shots, it does 18 damage. Next up, we have the Arctic Trooper. Arctic Trooper is an ice type, which is basically the same thing as the Foot Soldier, except that it's freezing damage. And it will freeze its enemies over time if it shoots it enough. Will slow them down if not frozen. Tank Commander. Don't leave, dude, I can hear you. So, Tank Commander will do 50 damage every shot, but has 1 shot every round. Next up, we have General Supremo. Well, this character will just rapidly fire for 7 damage every shot. Next up, we have the Camo Ranger. Must spam your finger on the trigger that fires to fire, and is perfect for sniping. Will do some pretty decent damage every shot. And next up, we have the Sky Trooper. It has ultra fast fire rate, and well, that's really all I know about him. Fast fire rate. Don't know what that says. Someone in the comments, like pronounce it for me, because I have no clue what that says. But also I know it's a fire type. It must spam your finger to fire this character, and it will do fire damage over time. Park Ranger. I think this is a toxic type. That's it, really. Yeah, I think it's a toxic. Well, I think it has splash damage, and it's really... No, Park Ranger, isn't he toxic? Okay, well, that's it for the soldiers, foot soldiers. Engineer. First up, we have the welder. will do fire has a flamethrower and will spray fire. Next up, we have the mechanic. He has a fully automatic air impactor, deals direct damage, and yeah. Next up, we have the painter. Does some, and when you aim, he has extended range for his aiming, and he does some pretty decent damage too. Next up, we have the plumber. Does massive damage, but you do have to keep firing. He has 50 shots per round, but you have to keep spamming the trigger to fire. Landscaper. His fast firing weed buster makes short work of any pesky plant. I don't know, I'm just reading it there because I don't know much about this guy. Next up, we have the sanitation expert. He's a toxic character who you have to spam the trigger to fire, and he does toxic damage. I think if you get close to him, you'll take toxic damage. Okay, no, you won't have a radiation off of him. But that's it for the sanitation expert. Roadie Z, short as crap range, and does some pretty good damage. And that's really it. Really? AC parry is, you have to keep spamming the trigger to fire, and he does frozen damage and will freeze the enemy over time. Next up, that's all. That's it for the engineers that I have. Scientist is next. First, we have the marine biologist. Has this dolphin blaster and will do massive close range damage. Cannot do damage when enemies are far away. This is the physicist. It's any range this time, and has electric shots that will jump between enemies. And chemist, basically the same thing as marine biologist, just the chemist, and as the chemist breaker, and that's really it about him. Next up, we have the archaeologist. Close range and fires gold gems. And that's really all I know about the archaeologist. Next up, we have the paleontologist. Is that how you say it? Paleontologist. I'm gonna get a lot of haters in the comments saying that I'm very wrong. It's hard to say. Paleontologist? Paleontologist. Okay, who cares? Okay. It does fire damage over time. It's just a fire version of the regular chemist. And next we have the zoologist. It has a fully automatic gun, fully automatic, and it's really all I know about him. And that's it for the scientist. Next up, we have the all-star. First up, we got the baseball star. Baseball star does not have that hat. Just if you look on the the left side of the screen, you'll see what he actually looks like for his face. And yeah, the baseball star has an extremely high fire rate. Pretty good character. Next up, we have the hockey star. And it has a stinky glove launcher. Used to be a toxic type. Not anymore, but has a slower fire rate than the baseball star. Just a little, slightly. Next up, we got the Rubg star. Rubg star? Rubg star. I don't know. It has an explosive rapid fire. Well, he will overheat very fast. I think he does fire damage. And yeah, that's really all I know. And okay, that was fast. A wrestling star. He does slow firing. Everybody hates this character. I have no clue why he's not that bad. I really don't know. It's slow firing, but a lot of next up we have the Golf Star, which has such a high fire rate that it's insanity. It does 7 damage every hit. That's it. Next up, we have the Moto X Star. Moto X Star is basically a frozen type, except that it doesn't slow him down just because I'm stuck in the mud. Got a lot of S ranks with this guy. Next up, we have the Tennis Star. He moves faster than all other All-Stars. And I don't know the rest about him. And now the final character of the stream. And we have Hover Goat 3000. Will charge up its allies and make them stronger so they can fight in battle and do extra damage. And it can go faster and because you can't, but you have to buy it from Rocks. It's only a skin too. It doesn't even do anything. Next up, that would be strange. Okay, well, okay. So it can go fast for its next ability. It just goes faster and jumps a little higher. And Hover Goat, when he jumps from a higher area, if you hold down the jump button, he will glide down, basically, hovering down. And the triangle move, which is the most powerful move for the Hover Goat, it has a radical laser beam. The laser beam will rapidly do 12 damage, but he doesn't have a lot of HP, so can die very quick. I don't really think he's a good character. I did use him a lot because I thought he's a really cool character. So yeah, that's it. So I'll see you in the next stream. Subscribe, leave a like, and hit that bell so you never miss another stream. See you in the next one.